a second.
Hey, what are we doing?
Turn around.
What are we doing?
Homework assignment.
What kind of homework assignment? Hey, is that a gun? Please.
On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0.
Would you rather be dead?
No.
Would you rather die here?
No.
What did you want to be, Raymond K. Hessel?
The question, Raymond, was what did you want to be?
Answer him, Raymond. Jesus.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? Tre07 Reactions. Welcome to the channel. You know, I've been doing these reaction things for a little bit, like a couple weeks or whatever, and you know, I've been reacting to artists that I follow and that I like and whatnot, and I've reacted to several different things like games and funny videos, and this is a whole new concept for me right now. I'm what I call this reactions with the artist, and I got my a friend of mine, S.A.M Fortune, on the line here. Sam, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, bro?
Great, man. Great. This is awesome. I want to thank you so much for participating in this. This is amazing. And I know I hit you up maybe a week or two ago, and I was like, hey, man, what do you think about me reacting to your video? And you were like, yeah, man, that sounds like a good idea. And I'm glad we got to get together. But oh, this is great.
Absolutely. I appreciate the interest.
Yeah, so tell me something about yourself. Tell me something about the video. You're an artist. I've had you on another show of mine, the Bentley Blue Duck podcast, and we were discussing art and other things and stuff. And this is specifically, though, one of your products of the art. And tell me a little bit about this in the music way.
Well, to tell you about myself, I'm just a guy who likes hip hop, I guess is the simplest way to put it. I like the use of words, in particular in hip hop, the MC, that element, the use of words to convey what I think about the things around me. Of course, there's the macho side of being able to express yourself. Is like being a verbal gunslinger, I guess, in the origin of it for me. I guess at this stage, you know, I'm not running around trying to be, you know, some of the guys that you hear on the radio now, these young guys, not knocking anybody, but everything ain't for everybody. And every message is not for everybody. And there's always time for certain types of content. But at this stage, I guess I'm a little more conscious of the things that I say and the message behind them, behind the projects that I put out. That's not to say that you won't hear me talk about, you know, all I want for my birthday is a big booty girl. You know, that might, you know, there may be songs like that still, but for the most part, I try to focus on some type of message.
Some type of content.
This particular song is pretty cut and dry with the atmosphere in the United States of America. Has been for a very long time, the persecution of a particular people, pretty much on a daily basis. And when I say particular, I mean, you know, the color of their skin. Now, the song focuses on police brutality, which is something that happens to many different types of people. But the statistics are alarming when it comes to interaction with the police if you are of the Black race. So, you know, there are white people shown in this video. The beat is produced by a white guy. So I wasn't trying to come from some type of racist standpoint where, you know, kill the police and blah, 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 and, you know, F the white people. And that's not what I was on with the song, but I understand you can show something to 10 different people and you will have 10 different perspectives on what it is they think they just watched.
Yeah.
You know,
That's definitely possible. And you know, my goal in this whole thing is to be able to get it from the artist's perspective, and
right.
because I think a lot of things are up for interpretation, but I also think a lot of things deserve explanation. Like to be like, where were you coming from with this particular project? What were you trying to say? Because some people need to hear that where they don't misinterpret it. Because there's a lot of stuff out there now that they're talking about fake woke culture and artists talking about the key things that people want to talk about, but they're very controversial. Like police brutality, white privilege, cancel culture, stuff like that. So, and as far as cancel culture, you experienced possibly some of that in a different way, to where you weren't able to post this video somewhere with the particular thumbnail that you chose.
Yes. I mean, you know, when you put out a video, and you have a message that you want to get across to people, the thumbnail is the first thing that a human being deals with. If we are visual creatures, then we already know. I'm not saying something that's original. You see something that piques your interest, you are more likely to click on it.
Right.
And the thumbnail that I chose for That's the Law was a little black boy with a white t-shirt on with fake blood on him, laid out like he has been killed. That's the part of the video that I thought, captured that thumbnail. That kind of captures the passion and the severity of this particular message. And, I reached out to WorldStar, and they were like, yo, you can submit the video to see if we'll post it for free. So I submitted it, no response. Submitted it again, no response. Submitted it again, no response. And I was like, hey, what's going on? And they were, like, we reviewed the video, not gonna post the video for free, but you don't have to pay nearly as much as what it costs, which is an ungodly amount of money.
Oh, wow.
So for a very discounted rate, I was able to get the video onto WorldStar Hip Hop. And
did you have to pick a different thumbnail?
I did have to pick a different thumbnail because they were like, you can't use that thumbnail. They said there can be no drugs, what was it, nudity, or I forget what,
violence,
guns.
violence.
The thumbnail can't have guns, drugs, or nudity. And I showed that, and they were like, you can't use that thumbnail. But you see, there's thumbnails all over WorldStar Hip Hop with people laid out from being knocked out.
Right.
Just the most violent hood fight videos. And I was like, dude, what? And it was like, yeah, we want to put it up, but you can't use that. So I had to change the thumbnail. And then, of course, YouTube has been shutting down each link. Every time I post it, it goes for a little while, and then they'll put an age restriction on it where people have to sign in to see it, which has affected the WorldStar Hip Hop link, because they can no longer just click right on it and see the video. They have to sign in to YouTube to see the video. So they were like, send another unlisted one, and we'll take that one off and put it back up. So they had been working with me.
Wow.
So I don't want to speak against WorldStar Hip Hop, but it's just, YouTube is making people sign in to see my video, but I use the clips that I use in the video are clips that I snatched off of YouTube from videos that you do not have to sign in to see. So it is okay for you to show us Philando Castile being shot to death in his car without having to sign in. But if I put it in my video with a message behind it,
right.
this is inappropriate and offensive to the YouTube community, which I find super interesting that someone could take that type of position against my video when I use videos from your site that no one has to sign in to see.
That's kind of like an opposite cancel culture thing. I mean, canceling something that could be beneficial versus that,
Yes.
you know, harmful. And yeah, so well, what I want to do with you right now is go ahead and just I've seen the video a couple times, but I want to react with you live, and if I have questions along the way, or just, you know, key us in on some important features of the video that you want to touch on, and to help explain the story a little bit. Now, I also understand your son was partaking in this video.
Yes, he is. Addison is in the video,
Yeah.
seated in the car with me. He's not seen too many times, but when you hear the first time that I tell you I live in the land, it's
Yeah.
basically a father explaining to
Right.
his son, this is, you know, having that talk
And
with him
that's
about. Go ahead.
No, well, you know what really baffles me is I have many conversations with people that will say things like a roundabout, oh, I don't, I've had to deal with police in a way that, you know, da 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 da, so I know what it's like, and blah blah blah, and they're not of a color that would be, you know, harassed or whatnot. But what I say to that is that, like, I have friends of mine personally who have explained to me they have to explain to their kids what to do in case of, and I like a line in your song that says, like, you don't have the same an understanding of what it's like, and
Right.
you're really not going to, and I don't gotta I gotta explain that to my kids, but in a different way. I
Right.
don't think I would have to say that, like, son, you're gonna be profiled one day. I'm gonna be like, if you get a bunch of tattoos, that's not the same. You know what I mean? So it's a constant thing to have to explain that to people, and then they still think that, like, we all have the same experiences with the police.
Yeah, it's hard to get people to see things from that perspective. That, yeah, you know, I the emphasis that has to be put on it when a black man is trying to teach his son, or a black woman is trying to teach her son or daughter about how to behave. It's a whole thing.
A whole nother conversation.
It's a whole, yeah, it's a whole, the conversation is just, you know, it's a thing. It's an event. Whereas, you know, someone else just, you know, I guess it's just implied, you know, I have to worry about how my son's hair looks. When I look at him, I have to look him over
before he leaves
in
the
a
house.
scrutinous fashion. I have to scrutinize him with a different set of eyes.
Right.
Eyes that I've tried to get behind and say, what is it that you see that you think is so bad?
Right.
And I hate that I have to say, hey, you have to be conscious about how you look, because you're a big dude, your hair's wild, you're riding around in my Cadillac, driving around, you know, there's somebody who may see you who may think something is up.
Yeah.
Just based on your physical appearance.
Yeah.
And just want to stop you just to stop him and see what's going on.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens, man. It's unfortunate. And that's not, you know, I never set out to imply that all police or all white police are bad people. I've had plenty of interactions with police that were white where it was a judgment call that they made, and they made one to show leniency.
Right.
Because there's been times where I've been, you know, I wasn't in the right like that.
Yeah.
But was shown mercy. But
we're not bringing attention to that. I mean, obviously that's a good thing, because police have, what do they call it? At the end of the day, at the end of any interaction, they have the ability to say yes or no. What they want to do, you know.
Right.
So that's not what we're calling attention to. What we're calling attention to is the things that do not go that way, and that are not the same for everybody. And people keep missing the message, and I'm sorry that they keep missing the message, but I want to help.
They do, man.
You know, get the message out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video, man, and you take a look at it with me, and we'll go over it. If you want to stop it, or if I got questions, I'll do so. And I appreciate you being here. Thanks for doing this. This is really cool.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, I'm gonna get started from the beginning. I chose this little screenshot there. It's the beginning of your video, though.
Please don't shoot me, man.
Fortune 17. Now that's your production company.
That's my mom, man.
Step on the face away.
Of course, that's George Floyd
Please don't
audio.
shoot me, Mr. Officer, please.
whatever substance that you own when you enter the complex. Please don't bring that drama, cause that's gonna make me wanna flex. Fredo, you're breaking my heart. I never wanted that. You didn't even think to call me Godfather. Wrong for that. You gon' have to, you gon' have to atone for that. Come through dripping like Cardi B. Shit, what's wrong with that? Other than the fact that that's a chick and I'm a Mac. Percussion cause concussions, rushing out the Cadillac. Then I'm stopped along a dark road. What's up with that? I'm just coming home from work. I work. What's the fuss with that? Other than the fact that they all white and we all black. I live in the land where they will blow your ass apart.
There's that shot. That's that shot you were talking about, right?
Yes, and so, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just there's a lot of stuff. If you're stopping here, I'll just say, you notice the heartbeat that runs across the stage when the curtains open.
Yeah.
You see the Bill of Rights on fire.
Okay.
I don't know if
I don't know
if you saw that transition.
I saw the fire in your eyes.
Yes, fire in my eyes. Yeah. Bill of Rights on fire. Someone asked me, "What you mean? Percussion caused concussion?" I'm like, I'm riding along, and the beat is pumping out my Cadillac. Percussion caused concussion, rushing out the Cadillac. So they were like, "Well, what's the first part of that verse mean?" It just means that I'm going about my business. It's just a regular course of the day for me. I'm talking trash, come through dripping like Cardi B. I'm just living my life.
Music's going, and it might call to certain attention that, like, if you got music playing loud or hip hop music playing in your car, that might draw attention, but it shouldn't. Like,
right.
Yeah, that could come out of somebody else's car and you not say a damn thing about it. But
right,
yeah,
and yeah. So that's basically what it is, you cats not keeping it real, Fredo, you breaking my heart, whatever substance that you own, whatever you got going on.
Yeah.
Don't bring drama to me, because I'm trying to do some other stuff, chill, live my life, be cool, Fredo, you're breaking my heart. That's all that is, I'm going about my life, doing my thing, and then suddenly I'm stopped along a dark road.
Now this shot right here just explains to me that, like, I believe there's a scene here where the lights are going and you're talking to him. So can you imagine, like, if you're in a situation where you got your son with you, where there have been situations where there were young kids in the car and a girlfriend or somebody like that, and someone's harassed or killed and in front of them, like, so you got to, like, think about that, like, oh man, I just got pulled over, I got my son with me, what do I do if things don't go right? All those things go through your head, and I'll say that they don't go through my head. Like, right. I'm not. There's rarely times that I'm worried about getting pulled over to begin with, let alone, like, thinking about how am I gonna act when he does pull me over, if I do get pulled over. And then I gotta explain to my son that's not a thing. But this is a hard. I like this picture. This shot is just amazing.
Well, also, we could have changed the shirts, but my whole thing was, from the very beginning, bloody shirts, we feel like we marked for death from the very beginning. So it's just, all of that is just symbolic. The shirts being bloody already, I'm sitting there talking to him. Yeah.
I love
it's
it,
just,
man. Yeah. Let's keep going, man.
Stand over your body screaming, that's the law. Meanwhile I work hard and kill my your ass apart. Stand over the fact that they all white and we all black. I live in the land where they will blow your ass apart. Stand over your body screaming, that's the law. Meanwhile I work hard and kill myself. Back here, stop for 1 second. You see me sitting back there in the ticket booth?
Yeah. Oh,
with the prices, that's about.
Let me see.
This is America selling tickets to the show. This is the show. Wow. We are the entertainment. With all of the little
ticket prices, targets, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
How many police officers do you have here? And did you? Is there different colored police officers? And because that would explain some things too. That, like, it's not just that it's not just white police. There would be like the police in
No.
general are there's an issue with the police in general, like, you know. And
Well, I'll tell you something that very few people know, and that is originally there were two other little girls. The black boy in the car playing the black man, he has two cousins, Kendall and Kinsley, two little girls.
right.
They were initially going to be the police, and they were going to have white face.
Ooh,
Right.
that would have been
That's just ridiculous, is what that is. But so I'm telling you something again that very few people know. Now, at the last minute, due to COVID, their grandmother said that they couldn't participate, couldn't be around people because her husband had just had a surgery, and she just didn't want them out and about participating in this event.
Gotcha.
So I had to use my friend Johnny D's daughters, but
I know
their
Johnny.
mom was like, I don't want them to have
Oh,
white faces.
yeah.
So
That would
I
have
was,
been a very targeted. I mean, I can see the message in that.
yes, you can.
You know, like
It would have been crazy, but
I was
what
very
happened?
deep. That's very deep.
Right. So I was just gonna, at first it was just gonna be, well, then I won't paint their faces. But then I was like, what is this really about? This is about the blue, the bad blue versus everybody.
So maybe paint. Well, you know, you could this could turn into another creative endeavor. Maybe like their faces would be blue.
Yes, that's what I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so after I thought about it, I was like, I'm gonna paint their faces blue.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then their mom was like, okay, I can roll with that. So
It is a
credit,
compromise, man. You just got to be careful what you're putting out. You don't. We don't want to. I don't care, to be honest with you. I'm
it was
pretty
the
harsh,
best.
but
It was the best decision because it would have actually been sending a message that I did not want to send because
gotcha.
there are black officers killing black males out here.
Right. Yeah,
That's a whole nother conversation.
it is. Well,
That's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, that's why they ended up with blue faces, because I had to come up with something else to do. So credit to Kimberly Darling for having had Journey and Jordan's face, you know.
I like this idea, like where you're in theater. You know, it's like kind of like it's like
The world
such a
stage.
right? A world of stage and a simple way of showing somebody something versus maybe an elaborate whole like, you know, video shoot where you're doing it with the cars and the real cars like that. This idea is good. I like it.
I
I'm good.
just appreciate it.
Kill myself to make it look like I ball. To make it look like I ball. I live in the land where they will blow your ass about. Stand over your body screaming, that's the law.
What was that?
I said that was David Koresh in the background. Someone asked me, they were like, why did you put David Koresh in the video? He was a pedophile. And I said, was he? Do you know who David Koresh was?
Yeah. Then they do the cult thing.
Yes, the Branch Davidians.
Yeah.
And he could very well have been. I don't know because he never had due process.
So what's the message in that?
They burned his.
That it would be anybody. Yeah, they burned his compound. They just raided it with whatever. Like that's the law. Like so, you know, I like how you is that your way of like hitting other subject matter as well? It's
No, it's just, you know, I live in the land where they will blow your ass apart,
Yeah.
stand over your body, screaming, that's the law. They could have taken David Koresh. He worked off campus, off the compound over on the college campus.
right.
So they could have easily just taken him in cuffs or whatever to go question him. Instead, they raided the ranch and burned the place down, and that man is dead,
That was
never had due process, and all we know is what you tell us
right.
that he was inside that place doing.
I remember this scene behind here too. The police officer like just
Oh, man.
beating this guy, and
Yeah, that's a woman, actually.
man,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
that
that's-
going around like this. People will be like, "Oh, well, that's just stuff you see, and it's all over the internet." Like this is stuff we're exposed to now that we weren't exposed to before. They were getting away with it. So, you know. All right, let me let's go ahead and finish up a little bit.
While I work hard and kill myself to make it look like I ball. To make it look like I ball. There's no justification for facing degradation on a daily basis. Yeah, we face it, we face it. You being pulled and me being pulled is two totally different situations. Even if I played it the same way you played it.
That's that line right there. That's the one that I'm talking about. Like, and I love the way you kind of speaking to somebody to say that. Like, we faced totally different. Even if I played it the way you, because you'll hear that. You'll hear somebody tell you, they'll be like, look, you just gotta comply and, you know, just do this and just do that. But like, that's your experience. And even if I played it that way, that's not the same experience I have. And it's hard to explain that. No, it's easy for me to explain, but it's hard for people to get. I don't know why.
Right.
That's one of my favorite lines right there.
We face it. You being pulled and me being pulled is two totally different situations. Even if I played it the same way you played it. For you, it's routine. For me, it's a confrontation. And
right, routine versus the confrontation. Yeah.
Right.
And I won't say that there's a time that I believed, you know, people's minds change. Like, when I talk to people, they'd be like, oh, well, who are you to be so? I'm like, man, maybe 8 years ago I had the same thoughts you had. Maybe I heard, maybe I did, maybe I was taught to think the same way, like the Trayvon Martin thing, and then and maybe I saw it a different way, and I had to be exposed to a few things and corrected and told, like, hey, that's not the way it really happened. You know, it's okay. I think people are afraid to change their thoughts too. Like, I don't want to be wrong. Am I really thinking these thoughts? This shit, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played it the same way you played it. For you, it's routine. For me, it's a confrontation, an altercation that could put me in my grave quick. How do you describe the taste of waste when it's tasteless? How do you describe the taste of waste when it's tasteless?
What do you mean by that? How do you describe the taste of waste when it's tasteless?
How can I explain? It's just, I feel like the things that I've been seeing is so, it's just tasteless.
Yeah.
To blow somebody apart in front of a little child inside of a car. That's just what by using those words, how do you describe the taste of waste when it's tasteless? Waste is one thing, but this to me is just on such a deeper level. It's lower than waste. It's not only is it a waste to kill someone the way some of these guys are being killed. You kneel on someone's neck for over 8 minutes. It's just, this is such tastelessness. And to hear someone justify any parts of it,
yeah.
is just,
well, he
it's a
was
waste of my time to talk to you. It's a waste of, like, some people you cannot get through to them. No matter what you say, something could have been done differently. And I'm like, listen, the professional in these incidents is supposed to be the one to make sure that the situation doesn't go south. The professional is the one with the badge and the gun. And he is, or she is, supposed to know how to de-escalate a situation. Sometimes I can understand the use of deadly force because we are dealing with humans on both sides. One doing a job who wants to return to his family at the end of his shift. And I get that. But we see a lot of times where deadly force is used and it just didn't have to be.
Yeah.
And it's a waste and it's tasteless. And you begin to say, it's not a stretch of my imagination to believe that some of these guys are running around and can't wait until the right situation presents itself in which they can justify killing someone.
And the more and more it's let go and justified, the more and more they'll be like, oh, we can do that? I didn't know that, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I fully support, you know, where people talk about defund the police, and I think people just misunderstand reappropriating or refunding, where, you know, somebody sent out on a call of somebody on drugs with some mental health issues. Like, don't send out a crime-fighting cop. All he wants to do is stop the crime from happening. And I think that's a lot of mentality. I heard somewhere where the first question they asked, like, what are your duties? And he was like, crime fighting, protecting, and then serving the public. And I was like, no. You serve the public first. If this guy's mentally or on something, or it's not like it's crime fighting is in the top of your brain versus serving the public. And if we need to send out a mental health professional versus a police officer, then that's what we should do. And I think we'd save lives. But I really do think that there's it's just a lot of subject matter. It has a lot of layers to it.
Right, and I don't doubt that it's a hard job. So it should be a hard job to get.
That too. Yeah, training. Yeah. You know, here in Charlotte, you know, Heal Charlotte, the Heal Charlotte group, Greg Jackson, who runs that.
Oh,
they were doing like
Greg Jackson.
Yeah, right after the protests, they were doing some protest training with some of the officers. You know, learning how to like better interact with disgruntled people. You know, like when somebody's out there, your goal is not to like. Anyway, but yeah, so there's some work being done, man. There's some work being done, but it needs to be a lot more awareness on it, and the real awareness, not just like opinions back and forth about it.
Right.
All right, let's get into this a little bit more.
Don't even approach with proper introduction. You will ask me if I have weapons of mass destruction.
That was funny to me. You don't even approach me a proper introduction. The first thing you're gonna ask me is I have weapons of mass destruction. Like, that's such an extreme case, right? But at the same time, it could feel like that. Like, you're just pulling me over. You didn't even like say anything, and you're like, yo, you got a bomb in there, like.
And you know what's crazy about that line is that's 100% true. A Gastonia police officer pulled me over. I was coming off of a road called Shannon Bradley, which is off of exit 14, off of 85 South. I get all the way to exit 19, headed up 85 North, and I see blue lights. Now, this is some years ago. He pulls me over. And he walks right up to the car and he's shining the flashlight in the back seat, all in the back of the car. Hasn't said a word to me. I cracked the window. I'm like, what's going on, officer? No words. Man. Comes to the window. And that's the first thing he asked me was, you got any weapons of mass destruction in this car? And I used to be horrible with dealing with them. I was like, well, you won't find out today because I have my license and my registration. Wow. You know, what you stop me for? You didn't come to a complete stop back there at Shannon Bradley. I was like, bro, that's like 5 miles. That's almost near Bessemer City.
The whole time. But still, like, even, it's just, Is that aggressive, man, to say? Is that aggressive to say? Like what you said is, I got my ID. You're not gonna find out today. Like that's not aggressive. That's something I've seen. So I watched so many of these cop videos where the drivers are got the cops on camera. They're like, "What's your badge number?" They talk a lot of shit to these guys when and these guys just kind of like, so to say that someone's being aggressive because they're standing for their rights, to be like, no, I'm not gonna deal with the way you're coming at me. I'm going to hand you my license and just don't bother.
Right. It could have went totally different. But once you come at me like that, which is their goal, is to aggravate you. Right. You know, aggravate you, agitate you, make you come out of your skin. Yeah. And it got me a little bit because once you address me like that, then there's no more officer and, well, it, you know, used to be.
Because now you got me in an inferior position where you're talking down to me and acting like I'm supposed to like not respond in a way that I'm trying to like be a man here, like, you know, like, but no.
Yeah, don't try to. Yeah, it's unbelievable, but yeah.
All right.
I used to be a piece of work, brother. But go ahead.
People say I fit the description of some fuck shit. I will reach for registration. You will start busting. I live in the land where they will blow your ass apart. Stand over your body screaming. That's
The one in the right
Right
corner.
in. Huh?
The one in the right corner there
the law.
was the guy who got shot. He had a permit. He had a gun permit and everything, right? His daughter was in the car, all that. I seen that
Oh
picture.
yeah, Philando Castile.
Yeah, you had
While I
that.
work hard, I will reach for registration guns on the
I
bus.
was about to say, when I say you'll say I fit the description of some fuck shit. That's another real situation where I had my son with me and his mother, and my son may have been 7 or 8 at the time, and we walked out to my car. I was living in an apartment then, and walked out to my car, and the bushes came alive, and there were officers with rifles right at me, coming from every direction. They came around one of the buildings that was in front of my car. They approached from the side, guns drawn. And I mean, I immediately started sweating. My hands were on the steering wheel. My son's in the back seat. His mother's in the passenger. And they're just screaming. And he was like, roll the window down. So I'm like, I roll the window down. And he's just yelling and acting a fool. And I hear one of the officers say, wrong car.
Oh.
And so then I hear it on his walkie. They say, it's a silver Lincoln. Well, I'm in like a champagne colored Cadillac. The cars don't match. And then as quickly as they came,
Gone.
they disappear. And then last year I had the video that went viral, where I left the TV station and was at a state employees credit union, sitting in my car, waiting on the line to move, at the bank. And I look up and see police lights. Look in my rearview mirror, there's an officer approaching my car swiftly with his gun drawn.
Man.
And that's when they yell, it's other side of the truck. And he diverts his attention and go, and they snatch this dude out of his car, dreadlocks, got him on the ground. It was scary. That's on my Facebook page. But
wow.
His wife ended up responding and saying that it was because some white guy, they exchanged words. So the white guy called the police and said, it's a black dude with dreadlocks waving a gun around in the drive-thru at the bank saying he's going to kill people. So that's how they showed up. But it turned out to be a lie. The guy had a gun, permit for his gun. And I don't know, people started bugging his business, because in my video, you can see the name of the dude's business with his phone number on his truck. So people started commenting saying, I called his business. He's a nasty racist dude. It was crazy. But just like for you to run up with your guns out on me, and then it's somebody else.
That's twice.
I was just like,
man. Yeah, so
it's
just
going
twice.
down out here. It's just,
that's something you've experienced twice in your life, and that I've never experienced.
No, that's just the two that you've heard.
That's what I'm saying. It's something that I have never experienced.
It's so many, bro.
Be honest.
It's my whole life, but
right.
It is what it is.
Let me see this. Let me see some more of this. We're 225 in, man. I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
See, I live in the land where they will blow your ass apart. Stand over your body screaming, that's the law. Me, while I work hard and kill myself to make it look like I ball. To make it look like I ball. I live in the land where they will blow your ass apart. Stand over your body screaming, that's the law. Me, while I work hard and kill myself to make it look like I ball. To make it look like I ball. Bum, 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 bum.
It took just seconds for a routine traffic stop to turn deadly. And today, graphic video of the encounter was made public just a few days after a Minnesota police officer.
Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like this.
I mean, there's so many examples, man. Like the shooting from behind. The in the car, the cigarette, people will say, be like, well, she shouldn't have been blowing smoke in his face. But she's free to smoke her own cigarette. Why is he being why is he getting butthurt about something like that? And then drag a woman across. There's so many examples, man, and I saw you use like so many of them.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Days after a Minnesota police
Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like this.
I live in the land where they will blow.
That was right on live, right? Facebook Live. I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
Your ass apart. Stand over your body screaming, that's the law. Meanwhile, I work hard and kill myself to make it look like I ball. To make it look like I ball. I live in the land where they will blow your ass apart. Stand over your body screaming, that's the law. Meanwhile, I work hard and kill myself to make it look like I ball. To make it look like I ball. Sometimes I wanna fight like I'm white, I know my rights.
Did you give any thought to now both the officers are colored girls, right? Black girls.
Yes.
Did you give any thought to making one of them white at all, or it just was that not part of them?
I didn't have anyone that I knew who would. Everyone that I spoke to had an issue with what I was telling them.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. It's something that I would have participated in had I. But
Right.
it what were you guys using? What were they using? I see like that's a representative of the brutality, but like we weren't using guns, like a broom of some sort, like
Paintbrush.
Paintbrush. Oh, with the red and the red.
I'm painting a picture.
Got it. Oh yeah, like it. Nice.
Like I ball, to make it look like I ball. Sometimes I wanna fight like I'm white. I know my rights, I know my rights, right? I know my rights. Sometimes I wanna fight like I'm white. I know my rights, I know my rights, right? I know my rights. When the gun goes bang 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 bang. When
I didn't even mean to pause it on this, but this is the one, right? This is the one that they were. Yeah.
the gun goes bang 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 bang, bang 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 bang, bang 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 bang, bang 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 bang.
Now the correct me if I'm wrong, but the scene where you got the shotgun and you were gonna go out, is that something that like someone would be feeling in a situation like, man, if they don't quit harassing me like that? That's an extreme like point of view, but like like I feel like if this is gonna be happening.
It's so think about when you first see that. I say sometimes I want to fight like I'm white.
Oh,
I know my rights. I know my rights.
Right.
So let me show you what the white folks do.
Yeah.
They get their gun and they shoot back.
I'll tell you what, getting us together through some other means, this whole political division is going to be the best. Like, because there are the Second Amendment right for everyone is important in the fight against the state, the police. Not each other. I think too many people were like, we got to protect each other from each other. But like, no. That's not what that was created for. Like, it's not so I can be upset with my neighbor. It's so me and my neighbor aren't taken over by the state and the police. Like, so we need to get more together on that and those issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's more like a dream sequence because you see I'm in the car dead at the end of it.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
So it's just a little trip through my mind. Like, what if I responded the way, I want to fight like I'm white because I know my rights too.
Yeah.
I
really like, I like watching videos where people are really like kind of owning the police a little bit. I hate to say it, but where they know all their rights and they're like embarrassing them. A friend of mine up in Statesville recently went into a Belks and he was harassed by a police officer, said started emptying his pockets. And he's a school teacher. He's an artist. He had a card, a credit card that he was going to use. He had nothing in his pockets, but this first thing he said to him was like, I need you to empty your pockets. They're telling me I need you to empty your pockets. Like, they're telling you're the officer. Like, and he did it right on live. This is just a couple days ago, just going into a store. Yeah. All right. If you got anything else to say about this scene right here? I mean, you painted pretty well.
Nah, I mean, yes, it is what it is.
Where did you shoot this? Was this at a theater somewhere?
Yeah, on the stage in Charlotte.
Okay, yeah. That's so we're based in Charlotte. In case anyone wants to know, we're in Charlotte here.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me hear that.
Now that right there, what is that? What you saying? Like that could happen to both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, you never know what you're thinking. So, Kingston McCoy, Journey Darling, Jordan Darling. That's Johnny Darling's daughters, nieces.
Yes.
Okay.
His daughters.
That's your son. That's
Yes.
cool. That's cool. And you're a videographer, or you do video as well. Special thanks to the crew and supporters. Richard Brook and Maxwell Brook, Two Ways Media, Johnny Darling, Kimberly Darling, Donald Tate, Amanda Ponder, and Robert Chavis. That's awesome, man. I really appreciate you letting us take a look at this here for you, with you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you checking it out, man. I hope I didn't sound like I don't know, somebody who was over obsessed with a project, but I've been pushing that thing, man. I'm trying to.
Not at all, man. I want to get it out there, and I like what you're doing. I'm gonna have to. I guess I'm advertising for TurboTax now.
Yes, you are. I see it.
Oh man, it's crazy. All right, got a blank screen. Cool. Well, that was good. This was cool. Reaction with the artist, S.A.M Fortune. That's the law. I need y'all to check it out on YouTube. We'll be doing this often. I got some other artists that I want to reach out to. Sam, this is the second time we've done a show together, man.
We have. I gotta let the people know my channel, my YouTube channel is S Fortune 17. You can also follow me, S.A.M Fortune, on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. You'll have to know my government name. A lot of you may know that, but I won't say it on here.
Yeah, I've been just sharing my Twitter and my Instagram. Kind of, I think I reached capacity on Facebook.
Right. I got some more stuff coming, man. I am a videographer. I'm a director, a producer. I got a couple of videos coming. I have one called Hit Song that we're about to shoot a video for. A song called Submarine we're about to do one for. There's a few of them that are coming. Insane is coming. Just projects, man. Trying to stay active.
Yeah, I haven't been active in a little bit. I mean, we've been going through our own little thing, but I'm kind of itching to do some work. So I reached out to you before. Maybe we'll get a song together and see what kind of ideas, what we could put together with our minds. But,
absolutely.
Well, I really appreciate you being here, man.
See that. Yeah. I was about to say we gotta see that. What is it? Joey Always Mad Son?
Joey Always Mad Son. Yeah, that's my character. Yeah. I haven't done him in a long time. I'm not really mad at much, but I might react to stuff in the Mad Son because apparently a lot of reactors are just really nice. They give like kind of they give good opinions. And I was reacting to something the other night with my friend, and he was like, "Yeah, let me show you this," and I was like, "No, I don't like this at all," and I was just hating on it, and he was like, I'm like, I'm not posting this. I don't want to be a hater. And he's like, yeah, but people need it. And I'm like, do I want to be the hater?
Yeah.
Like, but I could do Mad,
I think
son.
That you could. People will be mad, son.
Hey, maybe I'll do that way. That gives me a little leeway because it's not my opinion. It's Joey Always Mad Son's opinion.
It's Joey Mad. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get going, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, and we can talk after this.
Copy that.
All right.
Stop for a second.
Hey, what are we doing?
Turn around.
What are we doing?
Homework assignment.
What kind of homework assignment? Hey, is that a gun? Please.
On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0.
Would you rather be dead? No. Would you rather die here? No. What did you want to be, Raymond K. Hessel?
The question, Raymond, was what did you want to be?
Answer him, Raymond. Jesus.
Get up, get up, get up, get up.